Got part A. We'll start off with that first. Make sure everything's on the bottom. Cut the top. Got part B here. Get everything to the bottom, so I have a mess here. Big stuff. Making sure we get as much as this part B out as possible. A lot big. Stuff definitely gets clogged up in the bag here. I'm going to give it a quick mix with the margin trough. That's looking pretty good. All consistent color there. Kind of like a milkish color. Now ready for the powder. So I want to put the drill on low speed here, that way we're not over creating heat in here. There we go. Okay guys, now I'm getting ready to spread the grout. Now essentially with this grout, this Laticrete Spectralock 1, you want to install like any other grout, cement based grout on the market. Now, one thing you do want to do is you want to get all the grout out of the bucket you think that you're going to need for the whole floor. So we'll get really hot inside the bucket, so I'm going to do first, I'm going to put the grout down on the floor in piles with the amount I think I need for those areas. So that's the step one. Other than that, you pretty much apply like you would a regular cement based grout and go from there. Okay, now I'm washing the grout. Now when it comes to washing the grout, the epoxy grout, well, at least with this grout, I can't say for all grout, but with this grout here, you pretty much wash it the same way you would any other grouted floor. Now one thing is, I like, from my experience, at least when I did this floor here, is you don't want to let it dry too much on the surface, because essentially what this epoxy is a plastic. So if you let it dry too long, you have like a clear haze on the top of the tile. So you want to spread the whole floor, which took me maybe anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes to actually spread it. Then I started washing. Obviously, if you're going to wash early, you make sure you don't press down too hard so you don't wash the joints out. But in my opinion, you don't want to wait as long as you would with like a cement-based grout, because this stuff will be hard to get off the surface. So I'm really working on the surface here, using 2 sponges at one time to get the surface clean. If that doesn't work, you can use a little scrub pad. A lot of tile suppliers, it's like a white nylon type of scrub pad, and that works in a lot of cases when the grout starts drying the surface of the tile. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same process. So, you know, if you do have to wait off for the grout to dry and you think that it's not ready, just stay in there and keep an eye. I mean, literally, you know, check every few minutes. Don't let it sit there too long, because if you do, this floor is going to be toast. So I'm just going through, checking all the joints, you know, making any adjustments where I need to, fill in spots. You know, going through the whole floor with my first circle wash, and then I'll come back through the whole floor with my diagonal, just like it would any other grout. Then I'll show you the next step that I take here to make sure everything is nice and clean. Okay, so now I'm ready for my second wash. Like I said before, my first wash is just using the sponges on a circular pattern to get the, you know, the main part of the grout off the surface and make sure the joints look good. And in this grout manufacturer, they actually give you a wash, a little like it's like a little packet of additive you put in the water. It helps get the grout epoxy off the surface of the tile. So I got myself a nice clean bucket of water here for my second wash with that additive added to it. And I'm just going through my diagonal, make sure everything is absolutely clean. And you know, the main thing with these epoxy too, you definitely want to have some clean water. You don't want to do 1,000 square feet with 1 bucket of water. And this is a small floor, so I use 1 clean bucket for the first wash. The second wash, nice clean bucket of water with the additive in it. And once that gets done, I'll show you the next step to make sure this thing comes out pristine. Okay, now I am ready for my final wash. Now I let the floor sit for about an hour or so. I made sure, maybe even 2 hours. I'm not sure how long I waited on this project, but I definitely let it dry. What I did was, you know, I had a pile of old grout out in the garage. I left a little bit near the floor, so it's the same temperature. Once they get nice and firm, I know that joints on the floor are definitely going to be dry, if not very close to being dry. So what I'm doing here is I'm just using a sponge with a little bit of a rough side. That if I see anything on the surface, I'm just going to agitate it with that. And I'm basically going to do that through the whole floor. That kind of works anything that's kind of drying the surface off. I'm just making sure I go very thoroughly through this whole thing so it's nice. And once I get done with that, I'm going to come back Well, my second pass here is, as you can see, I'm exactly doing. I have a clean bucket of water and I put some distilled vinegar in there. That's a nice trick for you, and I use this on almost any floor for the absolute final wash. With cement base grout, I'll wait about 1 to 3 hours to do it, or you could come back the next morning, clean it up. Either way, it should work. But this really, between a nice clean microfiber and distilled vinegar mixed with clean water in a nice 3 to 5 gallon bucket, it's really going to get it clean. So I'm basically using each side of the microfiber, and this is going to get this thing haze-free, completely ready to go for the client. So that's pretty much going to be the end of this floor. I will time lapse the rest of me wiping this down and just give you a quick walkthrough at the end of the final result. This project is complete. We'll re-grout it with Spectralock. This color is parchment. So we re-grouted this all in. As you can see, nice and clean, nice and full of joints here. They had grout against this doorway. We use this silicone, close as we can with the color there. Show you around the bathroom here. Around this area, I actually just wiped it down one more time on the microfiber to make sure we're 110%. And that is it. So this floor should have no issues, especially with this grout. At least not for a while. So we'll see how it holds up. We'll keep in contact with the client. Let us know. Is that what it looks like? 100% epoxy grout. No fuss, no mess. Everything came out nice and clean. That's it. That's it.